Hi, this is Iannielli. How are you? I'm listening to a soundtrack from a group that I really enjoy listening to and discovered them on Reverb Nation. Actually, I discovered quite a few groups on Reverb Nation and also on MySpace. The name of this group is called The Accidentals, and it's composed of two girls, a duo, Savannah Buist and Katie Larson. And these girls are very special to me because December 8th, my son's birthday, just came and passed. I actually went to visit him today, and he seems to be making some progress. You know, it's going to take time, but any little positive step in the right direction is a good thing. So I was very pleased to see my son, and I brought him one of his favorite flavors of Haagen-Dazs, which he loves just like I do, and his mom. I got him raspberry sorbet, and that's my favorite too. It's good also because it's not as high in calories as like the rum raisin or my favorite, which is Ben & Jerry's red velvet cake. But I can't eat that if I want to keep my girlish figure, so the raspberry sorbet is probably my limitations. But as I was saying, yeah, it was good to see Maddie. He's making progress. It's slow, but like I said, any little progress is good. It's hard, the separation, to be honest with you. He's been in the hospital now for over a month, or just about a month, and now he's being transitioned to another facility. And then in June of 2014, he'll be starting a residential school program. So we are going to have to get used to that separation. And what makes it even more difficult is he's our only child. So it's really difficult, but life, we have to do what's right for Maddie, and he's very important to us. So we have to make sacrifices so he hopefully will get better. That's the bottom line. I was telling you about this duo group that I really fall in love with. Many girls bands out there that I follow intently now, and groups with girls who are lead singers. There are 5 groups that I've discovered recently. A couple of solo artists. This group happens to be the Accidentals, and this is what they provided me. I made a simple request on the Reverb Nation website to their specific page, the Accidentals on Reverb Nation, and they sent me, after I requested, a CD, the Accidentals, free, and it was really kind of them, and they addressed it to my son Maddie as I requested, and they autographed the CD to Maddie from Savannah Buist and Katie Larson. So I thought that was really special. So now we have a CD that we can listen to in the car, as well as play on the computer. So I thought that was very sweet of those girls. They were awesome, and I hope someday to see them with my son in a concert. Hopefully they come to New York City, or we'll find a way to go see them. I know they're based in Michigan. And there are a few more groups that I've been learning about. I have to try to test my memory. This is the first time I'm really reading from something. But I'm actually going to see a girl who's a performer, and she's really good. And I also discovered her on Reverb Nation. And she's actually performing in an hour show in New York City at one of the venues. I'll have to get the name of that venue. I have it, actually. It's at Rockwood Music Hall. She's performing on Thursday, December 12th, 2013, which is this week, Thursday. And she's performing from 8:45 to 9:45. and I'm really anxious to go and see her show. And I even have a chance to meet with her backstage. Her name is Selena Garcia, and I wrote about her, and I think she's just awesome. She's a sweetheart, just like the girls from the Accidentals. And then there's another group that I'm following that I learned about from MySpace, and they're also on other music websites. I believe they're on Reverb Nation as well, and YouTube, of course. Dream Aria. They're based in Toronto, Canada. Selena Hill's from, I believe, Brooklyn, New York, actually. She's a local girl. Dream Aria, as I was saying, just recently performed in a show in Toronto, and I was really wanting to go, but I have to get my passport. I lost my passport, so I got to request a replacement passport. Plus, now that I'm transitioning from male to female, I have to get an updated photo for the passport. Another group that I'm following that I really like, and who are very kind, and they reply to my questions immediately, is a group that hails from Australia. I don't remember where in Australia, but their name is Chasing Aces, and they're really wonderful. I love them. So they are Selena Garcia, who I'm going to see in concert on Thursday at this venue in the city called the Rockwood Music Hall from 8:45 to 9:45. If you can get there and you're in the city, you should go. Rockwood Music Hall at 196 Allen Street, New York, 10002. I suggest you check her out on Facebook, under her Facebook page, Selena Garcia, and she has an event, so you can actually go there and get all the details. Selena Garcia, I even wrote about in one of my Hub blog pages, and I sent it to her, and she was very flattered, which touched me. And the Accidentals I am communicating with. I really would love to get in touch with these music people and their groups and kind of become friends, because I've always loved music. I always loved that industry, and I think that if I can find a way to have like an association with all these music people, it's quite possible that maybe I can extend myself out to them, and maybe, who knows, maybe I can develop a concept that will help us, the transgender community, with a benefit concert for the Transgender Day of Remembrance for next year, since this one had just passed this month. So that gives us a whole year to prepare. And if I can get in touch with many of these musicians, which I'm going to meet with Selena, I'm just going to, probably if I'm lucky, just get to talk to her for a minute or two. But I'm very excited. She seems so sweet. And she even said she's looking forward to meeting me. Can you believe that? Me, little Emily? That would be awesome. The Accidentals, they already are sweet in my heart. Sent my son a beautiful CD. Dream Aria is very nice. I love them. And they write to me quite often on MySpace, and I write back. So I got to check my MySpace, because I want to make sure I'm in contact with them. And now Chasing Aces, a group from Australia. And also, I was a fan when she was lead singer for this group. She recently was on the Late Night Show with Jay Leno. She performed with the band Hey Monday, lead singer Cassidy Pope, who won the 3rd season of The Voice. And now she's got a solo career. I believe she's still in contact with her former bandmates, but they put the band project on hiatus at this point, so she can perform as a solo artist. And I think she's wonderful. She's amazing. And I also write to her on her Facebook page, but she's a very busy girl. I haven't received any replies back from her, but I'm hoping to establish some kind of dialogue with her, because I admire her and respect her greatly. So, this is something that I like, music, and it helps me because, I think there are a few things that I'm really involved with now. I'm not working because of my illness, and I'm suffering still from my own depression. And, I just have gone through a very difficult emotional time. I had a breakdown. I was in 4 hospitals. And I'm going through financial struggles, and also I'm working with a wonderful young lady who I don't think she would mind if I mentioned her name, or I'll say her first name. Well, I don't think she'll mind. Carly Wardwell of DCC, Debt Credit Counseling, and she's awesome. If anybody needs help with a mortgage counselor who's very knowledgeable in her field, she's helping me with a loan modification with City Mortgage. And I tell you, I love this girl. She's awesome. And I want to treat her to a concert to TSO, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, which are performing on 20th of December. And then take her out for a little dinner. She's been such a godsend to me. And I'm just so lucky to have these wonderful people in my life who are helping me, reaching out to me, and my classmates who I recently had a dinner with that are very kind and caring people. High school classmates that I went to school with, like Karen Falsberg, Rachel Fishman, Barry Lewis, Karen Marcus, Alice Abramson, Dorothy Aganome, the girls that reached out to me, one from Tennessee, Janet Rose Schenkel, and the other girl that reached out from California, Beth Karis Baker, and my coach, Alan Bukowski, who came also, Marty Schindelheim, who's a wonderful friend of mine, and we used to play baseball together. And I did relate this story already, so I don't want to keep repeating myself on it, but I do get a kick out of it when I do talk about it, is when Marty and I played on our baseball team representing our town of Belmore, and we gave each team in this league that we formed nicknames, so we were nicknamed the Belmorons. But we had a pretty good team. I mean, we were like the Bad News Bears of Kennedy High School, but we did good. We played hard and we won several games. But I used to love throwing the ball into my friend at first base, Marty Schindelheim, and sometimes I would throw it so hard that he would have to shake his hand, take his glove off and shake his hand because I burned it into him. And I still have that in me. I actually love it. I can play baseball in a dress. I don't mind. I love it, actually. I'm very happy transitioning to become a female. It's one of the best things that ever happened to me, because I've been struggling with my gender since the age of 4. So now I feel very empowered as a woman, and I'm not shy like I once was. Ed was a nice guy. He really was. But what a difference, As a woman, I am so happy inside. I'm finally achieving something that I truly wished for as a small child. When I begged, well, I didn't beg anyone because I couldn't even tell them, but I dreamed about it when I went to bed at night in my sister's dress, the only dress I wore, which I kind of borrowed, so to speak, from her. And that was my lucky dress, my security blanket. And I would wear it to sleep at night, dreaming of mermaids and hoping one day I would wake up and be the girl to go to school in that pretty dress. But that was a fantasy, obviously. But this is not a fantasy now. You see me as Emily. This is who I am. This is who I always knew I was. I'm a girl, and I'm happy, and I even have friends now from my high school days who I used to like and wanted dated, actually. Rachel was one of them. Now I'm friends with her, and I talk to her on the phone for 2 hours straight. So it's like we're girlfriends now. It's so ironic, because I had a crush on her when I was a guy, but I couldn't even say a word to her. Now that I'm transitioning to become a female, I talk to her like she's one of my best girlfriends. So it's just amazing how life works out, you know. I'm not working, I have my own issues that I'm dealing with, plus I got my son on my mind, and my main role right now is advocating for him, making sure that he gets on his feet and is settled. But if I did have the chance to work again, I'm on disability right now, and I don't see myself working anytime soon. But if a chance came, I don't think I would choose accounting anymore. Only tax returns on the side. Not in a high pressure office though. I can't work for people anymore. I can work in a company, but it has to be a change of career. I had a nervous breakdown and I can't go through that. I can't subject myself to that anymore. But if I had to change I'm hoping to get into actually music, not as a performer of course. I wish I could be a musician, but I never really obtained the talent. And I could probably buy a guitar and try to strum on it and learn a little bit, start with an acoustic guitar. But obviously I would need lessons, and I'm not really a songwriter. I'm a blogger. I write. I love to write. But I never had that true belief in myself. But who knows? Maybe I could. I don't know. I haven't tried it. But to write a song, I think that's a bit more difficult, because you have to really focus on many aspects in writing a song. First, you got to think of lyrics that make sense, that are applicable to situations of life. Then you got to make it into a melodic piece that could be easily suited to a musician who would play it, and they could put their spin on it and make it like their song, even though it's written by someone like myself, if I was blessed to have that talent. But that would be awesome if I wrote a song and it was sang on the airwaves by a musician, whether they are just starting out in their career or they're an established musician, it doesn't matter to me. But the fact is that somebody is recognizing my writing as a talent and appreciating a song that I put together with my own mind and my own thoughts and inspiration. So I have to think about it and try to see what I could come up with. But right now my focus is on my son and on keeping myself active, going to my doctors, making sure my son is transitioned. He's going to another facility. Right now he's in one hospital, he's going to a second facility that's more longer term, and then he's transitioning to a residential school, which is upstate New York, and it's going to be difficult for us and him because it's quite a hike. It's a 6-hour drive. It's up near Syracuse, New York. So it's going to be the first time that we're really separated, and it's going to be hard because he's our only child. But like I said before, we have to do what we believe is the right thing, and we have to do what's best for Matthew. So in my heart, I truly believe that this will help him because he's desperate to meet people, to make friends. Hopefully this will help him. He'll have 24/7 supervision by professionals who are trained to deal with children on the spectrum of autism, and who show interest and care and a willingness to want to help. And we took a trip up to the school, and we were informed the very next day that he was approved. So we were delighted, but the approval date is June of next year, so there's quite a bit of time between now and then. So we have to make sure that before Maddie's released from a facility and comes home, that he's safe, because he's had some issues and that we're very concerned about. So we want him to be okay. Our son is topmost priority. And when I was working, unfortunately, I never had the time to devote to him and to get to all his school meetings. But now that I'm on disability, And he now is eligible for disability, which I have to get straightened out because they made a mess with the birth date. December 7th, he was, Maria and I went, my wife and I went to Mercy on the 7th. Maria was in labor, though, through the whole night, so it went into December 8th. But the nurse that recorded the date of the birth recorded actually on the 7th, when in reality it was on the 8th. So we had to go back and have that corrected. But for some reason, Social Security still had the 7th. So now that makes things complicated. So now my son is not receiving the benefits yet that he's entitled to. But he will get the back amount that he's entitled to. But it's just another one of those issues that we have to address. Just like I'm dealing with a mortgage company, I'm dealing with so many stresses. We don't have heat in the house now, so I got like a little heater next to me trying to keep my legs warm at least. And we have to sort out the finances. I have to get that situated. And here I am, a CPA, but you know, things happen. I got sick, you know, and that's the problem when you're working for someone else, is your destiny is in their hands. So regardless if I'm a professional or CPA, if I lose my job, I lose my sense of livelihood, and that can be detrimental. It's already having an impact. We're in the process of being foreclosed on, and that's why I'm out meeting with Carly Wardwell at the ECC to get the help that I need. She's wonderful. She accepts me as Emily, and she's working with me. And she, before she left for her business trip to Las Vegas, she made sure that she stayed on top of me to get her the information that she needed to get over to City Mortgage, to Kelly Price. So she's on my side, and she's a sweetheart, and I love the girl, and she actually is a role model to me, and I told her that. And I envy girls. I love them, you know, and they're role models to me. Because, you know, I'm a girl. I'm just like starting out. I'm like a teenager, actually, because I'm going through puberty in a sense. I'm on the female hormones, estradiol, and I'm taking the testosterone suppressant, spironolactone. So the testosterone levels are minimizing, while my estrogen levels are increasing. And that is what's helping me transition, because it's giving me more female characteristics. So I'll be developing breasts, I'll be developing a more oval facial, and I'm doing electrolysis so my skin becomes more smoother. So I'm trying to erase all aspects of the maleness of my life and accentuate the femaleness of my life. The only thing that really would remain is the surgery for the construction of the vagina, a vaginoplasty, which I would need the help of a sex reassignment surgeon. But in the United States, they're very expensive, and you know, there's Marcy Bowers. I think she operates somewhere in Pennsylvania, and she used to work under the tutelage of Dr. Stanley Biber, who was out in Trinidad, Colorado, where that's like the sex change capital of the United States. But I wouldn't mind going to Thailand to have the surgery. Plus, it would be a lot more reasonable for me, and I think it would be something that I am contemplating. But at the same time, I want to make sure my son is good, healthy, and that we have enough money for his college. Because if I save for my own personal surgery, I'm not going to take it from his monies. That's his monies. That's his college fund, which I will continue to contribute to. But I'm going to try to contribute as much as I can once I get all these debts in order with mortgage and credit cards and getting hospital bills paid and the daily home maintenance bills paid. Once I get all that taken care of, then I'll start to focus on the two things: my son's education and my sex reassignment surgery. I would love to have it before I'm 55, but that's not too far off because I'm going to be 53 in January. So we're talking like 2 year time frame. And I think currently sex reassignment surgery, even in Thailand, is maybe like $15,000. So that's a lot of money. And I don't have that. So I have to figure out the best way. But that would be my ultimate dream, is to become a female in every aspect. Even down here, I want the female plumbing. I want the vagina. I don't want the penis anymore. Actually, they don't remove the penis. What they do is they do a surgery that, I'm getting a little graphic, so I apologize. I don't want young kids watching this video if I can help it. I don't know if I need to put a restriction on this video, but I don't think I'm saying anything really that offensive, because the reality of the matter is my teenage son has heard of vagina and penis, and he's heard of it when he was 12 years old. So that's just the way life is today. Kids are learning much earlier. Me, I was very naive as a kid. Plus, I was very internal. I kept things to myself because I was struggling with gender identity since the age of 4, when I knew in my heart I was a girl. And the only way I could address it was to wear a dress. And I didn't have access to dress other than my sister's, and I only had one dress. So I made the best of that dress for several years. Obviously I outgrew it, and then when I got old enough where I could buy my own dresses, that's when I started doing that. And I've been doing that all my life, essentially. And now I have my dresses to wear proudly, whereas I used to wear them under my men's suits. But I got rid of the men's suits, and now all I wear is dresses and women's clothes. So I've come a long way. And plus I got my hair styled nicely, I got highlighted, and I'm going to have it maintained. I'm doing electrolysis. I'm taking female hormones now for almost 2 years. Well, is it 2? No, it can't be 2 years. Like a year and a half, because I started in June. So by next year, June of 2014, actually when my son goes to his residential school, it will be 2 years. And I actually applied for a position in Amsterdam with Fashionista. I don't know what's going to come about with that. I actually applied as a blogger, which is not a paying position, but it's to get recognition at least. But also I applied for like a fashion internship as a writer, which would be quite interesting because it's in the Amsterdam office. And it would give me an opportunity to get close to the fashion industry and be a writer also, which I love. It's now my passion. And women's fashion obviously is my passion. I'm a fashionista. And I would just love that opportunity. Just like I would love the opportunity of maybe being a publicist for a music group. Oh, if I could be a publicist for a rock group, a girl group, or a mixed group with a lead girl singer or whatever, that would be a dream come true for me too. That's why I reach out to these music people and I want to write and send them my little writings. And who knows, maybe I'm not doing it for anything but, to show my recognition of them and my appreciation for their music, because to me their music is a gift. And believe me, it's got me through a lot of tough times.